Hi, 4V detectives. I am very excited to do our first lesson of this whole online long distance teaching. So please bear with me as I am learning how to use these cameras and my computer. And I brought my whiteboard from our classroom. Hi, whiteboard. This is my house. Maybe I'll do a tour sometime, but that's a different lesson. Today we're talking about living and non-living things. We're going to be doing a lot with plants and then animals for our science unit. So we thought we should talk about living and non-living first in first grade. You got this packet, which has some poems on the front, but you also got your seed diary. Now, your seed diary is what I want you to focus on for your plan. I want to make sure that you update me, and if you're unable to do it every day that it asks you to, that's okay. You can do it a day before or a day after. Just tell us what day, what number day you're on with your seed diary, okay? While you're learning about your seed, you're also going to be learning about the living and non-living things, what a plant needs to grow, what are different parts of a plant. You're going to learn about all of that. But today, I need to make sure you can tell the difference between something that's alive, like me, and not alive, like this eraser. There's a checklist to see if things are living or non-living. Here's my checklist. A thing needs to be able to breathe, eat and drink on its own, or be given food. It needs to move on its own, grow, bigger, stronger, older, and it needs to be able to reproduce or have children. Reproduce is a big word, but it really just means to create a family and have kids. So, knowing that that's our checklist, I'm going to show you some pictures and we'll have to decide if it should go on the living or non-living side, okay? But first, if you look at your packet, I want to tell you what your homework is, though all of this is homework, isn't that weird? If only we could put this towards the treasure chest. Poor treasure chest. Anyways, this is what I want you to do today. I want you to plant your seed, and I want you to do the first page, this one, and the second page in your packet, this one. You're going to be looking for one living thing and one non-living thing, whether outside, around your house, or just look in the mirror and see yourself. And I want you to tell me what you find. Don't go ahead in your packet and do other days. I promise I'll tell you what to do and when. How about what to do right now is read the fun little poem on the front. We can even sing it. I'm going to switch to my document camera so we can look at it better, okay? Let's see if I can do it. Ooh, my entire screen. This is fun. Ooh, I hope it works for you. All right, so now you can see my screen. At least I hope you can. And I'm going to be showing you through the document camera. That's what I want to use for the rest of our lesson. Oh, don't look at those. So here is our poem. You can sing it along with me. It is living, I know why, I know why. It breathes and grows and changes, it breathes and grows and changes. It's alive, it's alive. Yay! Wow, Miss Remitz, you have such a good voice. Oh, thank you, that's so sweet of you. So you can see here are all pictures of living things. We can see plants, animals, and whoa, that's an animal that lives underwater. It seems that even underwater animals must be alive. Well, let's look at the non-living part of this. It's non-living, I know why, I know why. It stays the same forever, it stays the same forever. It can't change, it can't change. Ooh, that's a very important part of all of this. It can't change, so it's not growing on its own. We have socks, we have, oh, look, books, an umbrella. We know that those things are definitely not talking to us. They don't breathe. They don't have a soul. They're definitely not alive, unlike us. So now that we've read our adorable poems and we've sang our adorable songs, let's get to some sorting. All right. Oh, look. Look, you can see my lamp. How fun. There it is. So, my friends, I'm going to put up some pictures now, and we're going to decide if it should go on the living or non-living. And then after, I'll show you a couple more pictures, and you have to decide whether on your own, with a sibling, with a parent, whoever's at home with you, decide if these pictures should be on the living or the non-living side, okay? Make sure you use our checklist though. Okay, so living and non-living. Here's our checklist. It must breathe, it must eat and drink, move and grow, and reproduce or have kids. I drew some here. Let's start off pretty easy since this was on the cover of your packet. A tree. Go ahead and make your prediction now. Or you can tell a friend about what you think or where you think this tree should go. Living, non-living, we'll sort it here. We'll start in the middle. Now that you've made your prediction, let's go through our checklist. Breathing. So this is a little difficult because oxygen is what we use to breathe. But a tree, when it comes to breathing, actually, it breathes in the gases that we breathe out. So while you're taking in that oxygen, that's something that plants or trees give out to you. But what you're breathing out, that's what a tree or plants are gobbling up. And they're using that and the nutrients or the water that they're getting to grow. So, well, we can't say that it's breathing oxygen like us. It seems that it's at least breathing in some type of air. Let's talk about eating and drinking. We know that plants use water, and that's what they drink, to grow. When it comes to eating, a plant, you could say, is eating sunlight, or a plant is eating the nutrients that's found in the soil. All the soil that you're using to plant your seed, that comes with nutrients already, kind of like plant food. So check. It seems that we're 2 for 2, and we only have 2 more. We're halfway there. Ooh. Have you ever seen a plant or a tree walking around? I know I haven't. Well, it seems that a tree might not be able to move then. But I have seen them moving with the wind, but we can't really count that. Let's think about growing. Can a tree grow? It definitely grows in height. Its roots will grow and they will move out as they go out under the soil. It definitely grows fruit, it grows leaves, it might grow flowers and buds, and it might grow branches. So just like how we start as little babies and we grow up to be adults, a tree can grow for hundreds of years to become an adult plant. So it seems like a tree definitely moves and grows now. Reproduces. I have never seen a family of trees at the park before on the playground. I've never, gone to the beach with a family of trees, never had a play date with a tree. But in a way, trees do have kids. There might not be a mommy tree or a daddy tree or anything like that. But when a tree drops its seed, or when a bird maybe picks that seed and runs away, flies away, that's planting the seeds. That's basically growing a new tree or a baby tree that can grow on its own. So the seeds that you're planting are actually babies of grown-up plants. Well, I don't know about you, but 1, 2, 3, 4. We met all 4 of these check marks, which means it definitely goes to the living side. Knowing that that was on the cover of our packet, though, that was pretty easy. But now you can see how we'll do our sorting. So how about we move on to this one? It's kind of silly, but I'm curious to see what you say. What do you think? It's a car. Look at it. It's moving so fast. Wow. I bet it's probably talking to me on the radio or something. You're probably thinking, oh, Miss Rabbit, it's obvious. The car has to go on the non-living side. Well, let me argue for the car about why it should be living. Let's look at this checklist. So, is a car breathing? No. Okay, fine. But a car is eating and drinking. Have you ever gone to the gasoline, or well, the gas station, and gotten gasoline for your car? You're making your car drink it, and your car is eating it so that it can not grow, but so that it can get stronger and be able to drive. Without the gasoline, the car can't move. Without the gasoline, the gas can't go on, or the car can't go on. So it seems like that car's definitely eating and drinking to stay alive, like we do. Moving and growing, come on. It might not be growing, but that car is definitely moving in this picture. Look how fast it's going on this road. So it seems like a car can move. And unfortunately, a car's not having kids, but you could have your family have 4 cars, and then that could be like a family of 4 cars. No? Yeah, I didn't think so either. A car is non-living, and that's because it's not actually eating and drinking the gasoline like we would eat and drink our food. It's taking it in and using that to make energy for its car, but it's not digesting it and then running to the bathroom. Sorry to be silly, but it's true. So it's not eating, it's not breathing, it's not drinking, and it is not growing, but it is moving, right? We see a car move constantly. You've been moving in a car. But that's the secret right there. A car can only move if it has a living thing driving it. So it's not able to move on its own. Therefore, non-living. And we know that it's not having children and there's no car family. So that's why we keep it on this side. Ooh, how about this one? A hibernating bear. Go ahead and make your predictions now, either by yourself, shout it out to me, Miss Remitz, or tell one of your friends, family members, siblings, dog, chinchilla, Piper, go ahead. Let's see where this bear should go. I'll put it in the middle for now. Now, a bear can sleep, or will hibernate, for 5 to 7 months. Isn't that crazy? I Googled that just to tell you. But during that time, it's not doing 3 out of the 4 things on our checklist. It's breathing the whole time that it's sleeping, just like you and me, but a bear is not eating and drinking. It's not moving or growing, and it's definitely not worrying about starting a family or taking care of its family. So I almost want to put it on this side, but I'm sure you're going crazy at home saying, Miss Ramitz, think about it. A bear was living before it hibernated. I think you're right. Let's look at the checklist, thinking about that. So, knowing that the bear is breathing, did it eat and drink? Well, maybe not while it's hibernating, but it's just asleep. It ate and drank beforehand so that it could burn off all of this energy later on. Moving, growing, oh, it definitely will move and grow when it wakes up. I'm sure it would want to stretch after such a long nap. And it's growing while it sleeps. Did you know you grow most of the time while you sleep? That's a fun fact. And sure, it's not having kids while it hibernates, but I'm pretty sure it will either have children or take care of its family or go back to being part of its family once it wakes up. So I think you're right. I'll put the bear onto the living side. Look, you can even tell that I did it there. I have one more that we're going to sort together, and then you're going to have to go sort them and find those 2 examples, one of living, one of non-living, outside or in your home, okay? This one is Smokey's favorite. No, they're not tacos. I'm talking about fire! So, I know you're thinking that this is probably really silly, but just like the car, you can argue why fire should be living. Of course, I know that fire is non-living, and I promise you that we will keep it here. If you think that it should be on living, I'm pretty sure you have the same arguments as me. Now, a fire is not breathing in and breathing out like you and me, but a fire does need oxygen to start. So, in a way, it's using oxygen just like us to get going. So that's why you could argue that it is actually living. Ooh, eating and drinking. A fire does not drink because we know what happens if a fire gets water on it. But we do know that a fire burns what it's touching. It looks like it's eating the wood. If you feed a fire, you're giving it more wood so that it can grow. And speaking of growing, we see that growing and moving is on our checklist here. A fire moves by spreading out, and it grows by getting bigger or larger when we feed it more wood or paper. And reproducing, last year's class argued that when a fire spits out its embers, or if a fire grows, then it gets bigger, and that's it having children. After hearing all this, how could a fire be non-living? It seems like it must be living, sheesh. But everything you say about why a fire could be living is really just a trick. Let's look at it thinking about that. Does a fire need oxygen? Of course it does, but it's not breathing in and breathing out like you and me. It's not using that oxygen to get further along or to, not, breathe underwater or something. I don't know what a fire's doing. Definitely not going underwater. But it's not using the air the same way as a living animal or a living person would. Eating and drinking, we know it's not drinking water. And when it comes to eating, it might be burning up that wood, but that's all it's doing. It's not putting it in its stomach and running to the bathroom, like I said the car also wasn't doing. A fire eats up that wood, but really it's just burning it away, and it's using parts of the wood to grow bigger. It's not digesting it to make it healthier like us. Moving and growing. Now, there's a difference between moving on your own and spreading. A fire needs to catch on to different things for it to spread, whereas we're able to just walk. So that's why it's not moving. And of course it's growing bigger, but it's not getting older or growing up to be an adult, which is what growing is trying to say when it comes to our living and non-living checklist. And lastly, there is no fire family. Sorry, Smokey, but the fire is not having babies. It's just spitting out its own self. And that's why when you see little fires come up next to a big fire, it's just that one fire and it spit out all of its embers. So that's why fire, sorry to say, but you are non-living, my friend. Whew, oh my gosh. We just sorted a lot of pictures, and now it's up to you to sort the last few by using our checklist. Living, non-living. I want you to look at the following pictures and tell me if you think they're breathing, if they eat or drink, if they move or grow on their own, and if they're able to have a family or reproduce. You can talk to a friend, your family, like I said, or just work on this on your own. And if you have an idea, as soon as I put it up here, that probably means that you know your checklist. All right, here we have wind, an egg. That's a fun one. A bunny. Ooh, a television. And lastly, what do you think about this one? A rock. People have pet rocks, so I don't see why it's not living. I want you to sort these on your own, and I want you to do the first and second page of your packet. By doing that and by putting your seed in its pot and starting your seed diary, you will complete your first mission for science. I look forward to seeing how your seeds grow, and I look forward to doing more about living and non-living things with you as we go along in these next few weeks. Thank you for taking part in my first online lesson. I really hope that it works for your computer. See you soon.